A European Union Association Agreement is a treaty between the European Union and a non-EU country that creates a framework for cooperation between them. Areas frequently covered by such agreements include the development of political, trade, social, cultural and security links. The legal base for the conclusion of the association agreements is provided by Art. 217 TFEU. Overview: Association agreements are broad framework agreements between the EU and its member states, and an external state which governs their bilateral relations. The provision for an association agreement was included in the Treaty of Rome, which established the European Economic Community, as a means to enable cooperation of the community with the United Kingdom, which had retreated from the treaty negotiations at the Messina Conference of 1955. According to the European External Action Service, for an agreement to be classified as an AA, it must meet several criteria. 1. The legal basis for their conclusion is Article 217 TFEU. 2. Intention to establish close economic and political cooperation. 3. Creation of parity bodies for the management of the cooperation, competent to take decisions that bind the contracting parties. 4. Offering most favored nation treatment. 5. Providing for a privileged relationship between the EC and its partner. 6. Since 1995 the clause on the respect of human rights and democratic principles is systematically included and constitutes an essential element of the agreement. 7. In a large number of cases, the association agreement replaces a cooperation agreement, thereby intensifying the relations between the partners. A European External Action Service. AAs go by a variety of names and need not necessarily even have the word association in the title. Some AAs contain a promise of future EU membership for the contracting state. The first states to sign such an agreements were Greece and Turkey. The EU today typically concludes association agreements in exchange for commitments to political, economic, trade, or human rights reform in a country. In exchange, the country may be offered tariff-free access to some or all EU markets, and financial or technical assistance. Most recently signed AAs also include a free trade agreement between the EU and the third country. Association agreements have to be ratified by all the EU member states. In recent history, such agreements are signed as part of two EU policies, Stabilization and Association Process and European Neighbourhood Policy. The countries of the Western Balkans are covered by SAP and the EU signed Stabilization and Association agreements with them. The countries of the Mediterranean and Eastern Europe neighbours are covered by ENP. 7 of the Mediterranean states have a Euro-Mediterranean agreement establishing an association in force, while another has an interim EMAA in force. Several of the Eastern Partnership states are ratifying or negotiating AAs. Both the SAA and ENPAP are based mostly on the EU's acquis communautaire and its promulgation in the cooperating states legislation. Of course, the depth of the harmonization is less than for full EU members and some policy areas may not be covered. In addition to these two policies, AAs with free trade agreement provisions have been signed with other states and trade blocs including Chile and South Africa. EU agreements with third states. Association agreements: Albania SAA, Algeria EMAA, Chile AA, Egypt EMAA, Iceland EEA, Israel EMAA, Jordan EMAA, Lebanon EMAA, Liechtenstein EEA, Macedonia SAA, Montenegro SAA, Morocco EMAA, Norway EEA, Serbia SAA, South Africa ATDC, Syria CA, Tunisia EMAA, Turkey AA. The framework for a CU, ACPPA, currently undergoing ratification, Bosnia and Herzegovina SAA, Central America AA, Georgia AA and ECFTA, Moldova AA and ECFTA, Ukraine AA and ECFTA, currently in negotiations. Armenia AA, Azerbaijan AA, Kosovo SAA, Libya, Mercosur AA, Syria EMAA, Free Trade Agreements. Andorra CU, Faroe Islands FTA, Iceland FTA, Liechtenstein FTA, Mexico EPPCCA, Norway FTA, Palestinian Authority Interim EMAA, San Marino CCU, Switzerland FTA, currently undergoing ratification, Colombia and Peru FTA, South Korea FTA, CARIFORUM EPA, currently in negotiations, Cameroon EPA, Canada CETA, CAR-T3 EPA, Ecuador FTA, Ghana EPA, India FTA, Japan FTA, Malaysia FTA, Morocco DCFTA, Singapore FTA, Thailand FTA, United States TTIP, Vietnam FTA, ASEAN FTA, EAC EPA, GCC FTA, SADC EPA, other agreements. Andorra CA, Armenia PCA, ASEAN CA, valid only for Indonesia, Malaysia, the Philippines, Singapore and Thailand. Azerbaijan PCA, GCCCA, Georgia PCA, Indonesia ACPC, Kazakhstan PCA, Kyrgyzstan PCA, Moldova PCA, Mongolia ATEC, Russia PCA, Serbia FA EU, Tajikistan PCA, Ukraine PCA, USSR TCA, endorsed by Tajikistan in 1994 and by Turkmenistan, Uzbekistan PCA, Vietnam CA, currently undergoing ratification, Belarus PCA, Iraq PCA, Mongolian ACPC, Philippines PCA, Turkmenistan PCA, Vietnam ACPC, currently in negotiations, Thailand PCA, Singapore PCA, Malaysia PCA, defunct agreements. Albania ATCEC, superseded by SAA in 2009, Algeria CA, superseded by EMAA in 2005, Bulgaria EAA, acceded to the EU in 2007, Croatia SAA, acceded to the EU in 2013, Cyprus AA, acceded to the EU in 2004, Czech Republic EAA, acceded to the EU in 2004, Egypt CA, superseded by EMAA in 2004, Estonia EAA, acceded to the EU in 2004, Greece AA, acceded to the EU in 1981, Hungary EAA, acceded to the EU in 2004, Latvia EAA, acceded to the EU in 2004, Lithuania EAA, acceded to the EU in 2004, Macedonia CA, superseded by SAA in 2004, Malta AA, acceded to the EU in 2004, Mexico CA, superseded by EPPCCA in 2000, Morocco CA, superseded by EMAA in 2000, Poland EAA, acceded to the EU in 2004, Romania EAA, acceded to the EU in 2007, Slovakia EAA, acceded to the EU in 2004, Slovenia EAA, acceded to the EU in 2004, Tunisia CA, superseded by EMAA. In 1998, ACP Convention, superseded by PA in 2003, Legend, see also, European Union Free Trade Agreements, Stability Pact for Southeastern Europe, Free Trade Areas in Europe, EU-ACP Economic Partnership Agreements, Notes, References. External links, Free Trade Agreements, EU Free Trade Agreements, Council of the European Union Agreements Database, European External Action Service Treaties Office Database, EU-ACP Countries Economic Partnership Agreements Negotiations, Where Do We Stand? EU Neighbourhood Info Centre, EU Neighbourhood Library.